In 2008, Forbes magazine ranked Tampa, Florida as the 5th best outdoor city in the United States. But if you ask cyclists what they think, well, you might hear something a little different. That's because in 2010, there were 12 bicycle fatalities here in Hillsborough County. But today, I'm going to address those issues as I ride with members of the Seminole Heights Bicycle Club here in Tampa. They believe that bicycles and motor vehicles can safely share the road. I'm Ira David, and this is Pedal America.
Pedal America is made possible by...
At Subaru, every vehicle is built in our zero landfill plant. Because there's a great big world to explore, and keeping it great is everyone's responsibility. Subaru, proud sponsor of Pedal America.
Better Oats, instant oatmeal with whole grain oats, flax, and 23 flavor choices. Old-fashioned oatmeal texture for today's active lifestyles. Better Oats, choice of a new generation.
From lower sodium lunch meats to lower fat smoked sausage, Hillshire Farm provides many options that can fit into healthy eating habits. Hillshire Farm.
So today we are in beautiful Tampa, Florida, and I am riding with my really good friend, Alan Snell. Alan, you are the director of multiple bike dealers. You've got your own bike club, a strong cycling culture, but not without issue down here.
Well, in 2010, we had, unfortunately, 12 bicyclists killed in the Tampa, Hillsborough County area, and we needed to take steps. Our Alliance of Bike Stores prodded our local county commissioners to create a bicycle safety action plan to address those bicycle issues. You mentioned Ira David.
Well, what are some of the issues? Because I assume that you've got to assume that there are people at home saying 12 fatalities, I'm not going to ride in the street or even at all.
Well, we have to create a full court awareness about bicycling. It means teaching bicyclists to properly negotiate the roads. It also means creating awareness among motorists to be alert and that bicyclists do have a right to the road. And it also means our road engineers accommodating bicyclists with infrastructure.
What exactly are you referring to down here?
Well, our Alliance of Bike Stores is lobbying our local county commissioners and city officials in Tampa to build a region-wide paved trail system called the BAM for Bicycle Aerial Mobility. And we believe by having a regional paved trail system that would funnel bicycle traffic into downtown Tampa, we'd get a lot more people biking than we have right now. We also need to create more roads with sharrows, those are the shared road markings, to advise motorists that bicyclists are in the lane. And we also need more bike lanes to create continuous bike networks so people can get from point A to B in a safe and efficient manner. I know bicyclists around the Tampa area are a little concerned that bike lanes will come and go and that they're not continuous. So I'm sure we'll have a chance to check out that particular situation.
Well, can you show me one?
Yeah, let's go and check one out right now.
Oh.
Ira David, here's an example of really dangerous bicycle infrastructure. Here's an example where we're riding in the bike lane and then all of a sudden, without any notice, the bicycle lane ends and we're forced to go into the traffic here that is moving at a pretty high rate of speed. This is really important because bicyclists need safe infrastructure.
Right, and I would think that those who are recreational cyclists trying to get around actually would find this very uncomfortable.
Absolutely. This is the kind of bicycle infrastructure that would discourage a new bicyclist or a recreational bicyclist from going on the road, because the bike lane ends without any notice at all, and this is a really dangerous situation.
Well, what about your bike club? Do you address this issue?
Yes, we try to get people on the road and to bike safely. And I want to invite you to come to one of our bike club rides, and we'll also have a bicycle art show right afterwards to celebrate bicycling.
Okay, well, I was going to head out to St. Pete Beach tomorrow in Pinellas County to take a look at that, so I guess I could do that in the afternoon.
Well, we'd be happy to have you.
Okay, all right, great. In 2011, Hillsborough County conducted an extensive study. It found that 55% of fatal crashes here happened at night, and that all of those fatalities involve cyclists who are not using their running lights. Florida state law requires that everyone operate their bicycle like a motor vehicle, and for me, that means I have to be visible.
I'm Alan Snell with the Seminole Heights Bicycle Club, and I want to welcome everybody to today's bike ride.
So, Nanette, you've been a member of the cycling club for how long?
We've been members for about a year and a half.
What do you like about it?
I love the camaraderie. It's a lot of people from our neighborhood. We have a very close-knit neighborhood.
Well, it fosters community and bicycling, and those are two of my very favorite passions.
Most bicycle clubs offer rides for all levels and abilities, and that creates opportunities for people to ride in groups. Riding together is important because it helps motorists to grow accustomed to seeing cyclists on the road. But cyclists have responsibilities too, like helping to keep each other and motor vehicle drivers safe.
We stress stay to the right, stay single file. We'd really prefer it if you have a helmet. Also, please call out if things are clear or if they're not clear, if traffic is coming. If you're preparing to stop, let people behind you know what's going to happen, because with this many people, it's kind of important that we keep people more or less informed about what's going on.
Yeah.
Unlike other places Pedal America has visited, Tampa is not considered a bicycle-friendly city, at least not yet. That rating belongs to its westerly neighbor, St. Petersburg. Both are part of what's known as the Tampa Bay area. This is the halfway point, Hyde Park, and you're coming out here and having a good time. Why come out here and ride with Seminole Heights Bicycle Club?
Because it's fun. It brings the neighborhood together. It brings all of us together on bikes. It gets us, we don't wear headphones. We don't sit in front of computers. We're out. Actually, this is our social media for the day.
I just like riding in the middle of the group because I'm getting used to riding with traffic. And when I'm riding by myself, I don't feel as comfortable because I don't have my mirror on my helmet yet.
I won't ride without the mirror. I wouldn't ride without my helmet, but I would not ride without my mirror. It's just not optional.
Whether it's a movie night at someone's house, a potluck dinner, or an art fair, the Seminole Heights Bicycle Club is a community that builds friendships.
We do weekly bike rides, and this is a special event that we have decided to have after this one. And we have several different people here that have contributed to the artwork.
Whenever Alan Snell has a bike event, then usually I'll try to create something, whether it be a painting or some sort of giveaway for that event. And then sometimes we also do live paintings, which we're going to do here. We did at the 2011 Bicycle Bash also.
I've been riding with the Seminole Heights Bike Club for about a year and a half now. A friend invited me in, and I came over and rode, and they treated me like family, and I've just really had a good time. But 2 months ago, I was diagnosed with an extremely rare fatal disease, and one of the things that my doctor wants me to do is he wants me to make sure that I continue to do exercise so that I can keep the blood pumping through my body and kind of keeps me where I need to be. The thing that I like the most about riding with these guys is, one, it's not boring, I'm not by myself. Two, if something happens to me, almost everybody in the crew knows what's going on, so if I need medical help or whatever. Originally, I was told not to ride because they were afraid that what I have is kind of where the veins are like a water hose, and they don't want it to rupture and me to bleed internally. So they found out that what's happening is the constant moving is keeping it flowing through my veins, which is better for me.
Good for you. Thanks.
Yes, thank you.
3 roadways connect Tampa and St. Pete: an interstate highway, the Clearwater Causeway, and the Gandy Bridge. There was an old Gandy Bridge that was reconstructed in the 1990s to include a pedestrian and bike pathway called the Friendship Trail. But structural problems forced that to close in 2008. It never reopened, and the city plans to demolish it, so that comfortable bicycle access route is now gone. For now, the only real bicycle access from Tampa to the white sandy beaches in St. Petersburg is the shoulder along the Clearwater Causeway or New Gandy Bridge. But those shoulders are not separated from heavy traffic, nor are they marked bike lanes, at least not yet, and so cyclists should consider their own comfort levels if choosing to ride them. So I made my way out to St. Petersburg, and I'm riding with my friend Al Bartolotta. Al, you are a planning manager for Pinellas County?
That's correct.
And what are we riding on right now?
We are currently on the Pinellas Trail. We're approaching the overpass over the Cross Bayou. Probably one of the more scenic vistas that you'll see along the Pinellas Trail.
Well, how did the trail get started?
The trail got started originally back in the 80s. This was at one time an old railroad bed. The Bicycle Advisory Committee, the MPO, helped spearhead an effort to take that Florida Department of Transportation easement and turn it into a multi-use trail.
How's the trail been received?
I think the trail has widespread support. Right now has over 75,000 users per month. And what you're finding now is people not only use the trail for recreation, but people also use the trail to commute, to work, to shopping, and I think that's the long-term goal, to try to make bicycling and walking a viable transportation alternative to driving a car.
So when the trail is complete, how many miles will it extend?
About 47 miles will be ultimately. And I should say as well that the trail has also prompted a lot of community trails now that are connecting, that are east-west trails connecting the trail to the planned extension of the trail on the east side of the county. So really the momentum that's been created by the trail just in constructing other trails around the county has been amazing.
Well, that sounds like it's great for tourists too, if it's going to be a complete 47-mile loop.
Yes, absolutely.
You can really explore St. Petersburg, in Pinellas
You really
County.
can. The trail cuts through the downtowns of a lot of the cities. It connects major county parks, connects a lot of city parks, a lot of landmarks, so you get a great view of Pinellas County on the trail or from the trail.
All right, well, let's keep touring this.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. If you look at Tampa's lack of right-of-way infrastructure and Pinellas County's 34-mile trail system, well, it's easy to conclude, perhaps, that motor vehicles and bicycles should be separated. But Pinellas County also has 127 miles of marked bike lanes that share the road with motor vehicles. Both the members of the Seminole Heights Bicycle Club in Tampa and Pinellas County understand that cars and bikes can safely share the road. Right now I'm pedaling along Gulf Boulevard in St. Petersburg, and it is a designated bike route. I have 2 favorite stomping grounds. The first place I'm going to take you to, we're going to take a different route. It's not a marked bike lane, but it's perfectly legal and a lot prettier than this. Riding along St. Pete Beach, you can soak up the sea air and stop in to visit my old friends at the Suncoast Seabird Sanctuary in Indian Shores. Hey, Ralph.
Ira, how are you doing, buddy? It sure is good to see you.
Well, it's good to see you again, too.
It's been a long time.
It has. We do go back a long way.
Sure
but talk about how the Seabird Sanctuary got started.
Well, you're really not going to believe it, but I came with one bird. I happened to be out on December 3rd, 1971, going out to do some Christmas shopping, get a bite to eat, when I came across a little cormorant walking down Gulf Boulevard with a broken wing. Not wanting him to get out in the highway and get run over, I picked him up, took care of him, word of mouth spread, and the sanctuary started.
Now the birds, when they come back, especially the big birds like the pelicans, they don't just come home to your sanctuary, they come to you.
We have a very interesting situation that's happened over the last couple of years, and that is great blue herons, which you know are a very skittish bird, pelicans, egrets, and even the lowly park pigeons will actually fly, crawl, or walk up to me only at night, only when I'm alone, usually between 11 and 12 o'clock at night, and will actually come up to me and let me pick them up and work on them and absolutely lie still without anesthesia. I had a huge heron a couple of years ago, stood about this high, walk up to me so close right in front of my house that I thought he wanted to dance. And I just instinctively kind of put my arms around the bird. I mean, this bird was looking at you at eye level. And 4 of my fingers went into a gash in its back thanks to a fish hook. And so I picked the bird up. That bird lay still on its side, and it took me about an hour to sew up the wound in his back, which was about that long. And the bird lay still while I sewed him up. And I knew he trusted me so much that I got the biggest sky kennel I could find, put it on a dining room table, and recuperated him right in my house.
So if someone sees an injured bird, let's say, because you have a pier over here, and if they're fishing off the dock and a bird gets hooked, right. What can someone do?
The most important thing, of course, if a bird gets hooked, is don't cut the line, because the most dangerous thing that can happen to a bird is it fly back to its rookery where vegetation is, and then the line gets tangled up around a limb, and the poor bird hangs there until it's dead. So if you do accidentally hook a bird, bring him in slowly. It's always a good idea, if you can, have someone close by to steady the bird and make sure that the hook and the line is removed as safely as you can. If the bird has a more serious injury, it's always good to bring him to a rehab center like the sanctuary for proper medical care.
Now, a lot of your birds are in cages. Why are they in cages?
Well, the way it works is you never know how bad a bird's hurt when it first comes in. So it first goes into the hospital, where there are large banks of stainless steel cages, just like a veterinary hospital, where the individual bird is put, his problems are diagnosed, he has a medical record just like if you were in a human hospital, and then after the bird spends however long he needs under what we call intensive care, then he's moved out to secondary rehabilitation, which is outside in individual pens. And then, of course, if the bird is successfully rehabilitated and can fly, then he's released after the recuperation period. Birds that are permanently crippled, we make a home for and then try to donate them to highly qualified zoos and zoological parks.
Okay. You've got this amazing location here on Indian Shores, and I biked up the beach, right. But you can also access this from Gulf Boulevard.
Oh, yes. Well, people on bicycles use the sanctuary as a stop-off point off and on all the time, and we really welcome that because we have water fountains and a big, public bathroom, so people can use it as a very nice stopover where they're coming down the beach, which is completely legal, or Gulf Boulevard runs for 20 miles and it makes a great ride.
Well, thank you so much.
Oh, gosh.
Sure
is good to see you again, and happy biking with the birds.
Thanks a lot, Ralph. Appreciate it. Give me one of these. Well, I am on Gulf Boulevard again. Do you see the marked bike lane? That is not painted for riders pedaling in the opposite direction. To keep yourself safe, learn to glance over your shoulder, like that. Or do what some members of the Seminole Heights Bicycle Club do. Go out, get yourself a mirror, and learn how to mount it to your bicycle or your helmet. Earlier in the week, I met up with our Bike Tech 101 experts in Chicago to discuss how to properly mount a mirror on your bicycle or your helmet. I'm going to let you take a look at that while I go find us a hurricane. Chris, some riders prefer to put their mirrors on the handlebars, others prefer their eyeglasses or their helmets. Which is best?
There are technical reasons that you might not be able to put your mirror on your handlebars depending on where they're positioned and the shape of those handlebars. So that's one consideration. The other
is the rider's preference.
Okay. Well, we have one mirror here mounted to a handlebar of this hybrid bike. How would I install something like this?
Well, with this, we remove the end of the grip, and then the mirror inserts inside of the handlebar, and then we tighten it up, and it grips the inside, holds it fast. Then we position the mirror so we can see behind us.
Okay. So if someone does prefer a mirror on the, let's say, a pair of eyeglasses, like this pair of glasses right here, okay, this here looks like it has a little clamp or something.
Yeah, this one's very simple. It just installs on the side of the glass, and then you need to spend a little bit of time positioning the mirror so you can see behind you.
Okay, all right. And on this helmet over here?
Okay, well, we've already installed the base with some zip ties, and that's through the vents. And then there's a little ball joint here. We insert this.
A little bit of force.
Yes, it's a little bit of force, but that way it won't come off while you're riding.
Okay.
Then we position the mirror so we can see behind us.
So Chris, why use a mirror in the first place? I mean, I can just look over my shoulder to see what's coming up from behind.
Good question. I've been sold on the mirror from many years of serving customers, and I've seen some injuries, some of them serious. And I think one of the reasons that we get injured when we ride is because we are looking behind us and not aware of hazards ahead. For example, a car door that may be opening, a pothole. With a mirror, you can keep your eyes focused forward and be aware of what's behind you.
At the same time. Okay.
Correct.
So if this was my helmet, basically I would put on this, something like this, make any adjustments that I need to make so I'm comfortable, and now I can see behind me. And so if I just turn like this, now I can really see what's behind me. Now I see a guy on a sofa out there, and you better get up off the sofa and get on your bike. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Now, if you're like me and love your mother's cooking, the Hurricane is going to make you feel right at home. Rick, how are you?
Hi, Aaron. How
Good
you
to
doing?
see you. Good.
Good to see you.
Rick, the Hurricane Seafood Restaurant, it's a legacy here in St. Pete Beach. How many generations?
30 generations. My grandfather came down here in 1945. My mom came down in 72 after establishing things in Baltimore. And then the Hurricane came about in 1977.
Well, what was his vision? I mean, how did they get started?
His vision was seeing the beauty of the area, the Gulf of Mexico, and the accessibility not only to the beaches, but to the roadways and the sidewalks.
You grew up in this place. I mean, what are some of your most fondest memories?
Well, first of all, fishing, walking the beach, swimming. At one time, there was no beach out in front of us. And through the years, it developed. And that's what I think of, being to frolic in the water and catch all the local fish.
What's famous here?
Fresh grouper and my mom's 1945 crab cake that has special spices. I can't tell you, but it has 3 different crabs in it. It's got special, it's got lump, and super lump. If I tell you any of the spices,
I know, you'd have to kill me.
It's a family secret.
Okay. Now, you were talking about the people here. What about cyclists? Why are you a bicycle-friendly restaurant?
Yes, we are. We're very friendly, and every Saturday morning and sometimes Sunday morning, you'll see anywhere from 35 maybe to 100 cyclists going by here.
Really?
Yes, and some of them stop, some of them continue, some of them come back with their cycles.
Okay, well, they need that protein to fuel up.
They sure do, and,
So
and the group is the perfect way.
So they stop. Can I try something?
You sure can.
Okay, I'm ready.
Let's go inside. Let's go on the Hurricane.
All right, okay, let's go. Let's check it out. So I have my grouper sandwich, I have my alligator bites, which is another staple here at the Hurricane Restaurant. If you like seafood, you will feel at home here. Now, when I was growing up, I couldn't have seafood in the house because my mother was allergic. So if she was here with me, she'd have to have something else on the menu. But that's okay. Still, cheers, Mom. Okay, Alan, so I've been biking around Tampa and with your bicycle group. I went out to St. Petersburg, I went to St. Pete Beach. Love it all. What I want to know is, do the 2 counties ever come together to improve access?
Well, the local state transportation office is building a $30 million bridge right next to the Courtney Campbell Causeway that will be specifically designed to accommodate bicyclists and pedestrians from Tampa to Clearwater.
Well, that's great. And in the meantime, you've got this beautiful river walk. Everyone can enjoy it.
Riverwalk is really nice. The city of Tampa is still working on making it a continuous trail, so there are some open segments that do need to be built, but that's how life is because, it's a work in progress.
Right. Well, you know what? We're all works in progress, and that's not such a bad place to be. I'm Ira David, progressing. You all get out there and pedal, America.
It's messy. Just drop that stick, lady. Young lady.
7, 11, Apple, take 4.
And you can all do what you want.
They're all like, oh no, they're really making me feel.
All of a sudden, everybody gets quiet.
How was that?
Pedal America is made possible by
At Subaru, every vehicle is built in our zero landfill plant. Because there's a great big world to explore, and keeping it great is everyone's responsibility. Subaru, proud sponsor of Pedal America.
Better Oats, instant oatmeal with whole grain oats, flax, and 23 flavor choices. Old-fashioned oatmeal texture for today's active lifestyles. Better Oats, choice of a new generation.
From lower sodium lunch meats to lower fat smoked sausage, Hillshire Farm provides many options that can fit into healthy eating habits. Hillshire Farm.
To learn more about Pedal America, bike safety, or how to get involved in trail maintenance, please visit us at pedalamerica.tv or on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.